So this scary chart brought to you by Sheila Bair. She, of course, used to run the FDIC, and she's one of the people who originally warned us that there could be an economic collapse coming. Of course, nobody listened to her. And the brilliant minds of Larry Summers, Robert Rubin back in the day, and Tim Geithner. Sheila Bair, she's not a team player, what would she know? So she points out a graph in the Washington Post, which I think is very interesting. She says this is her scariest graph, the graph of the year. Now, it's a little hard to see here, but you'll see that the number going up is the unemployment number. That's, of course, happens around the Great Crash in 2008 and 2009. And then the number going down, the red line going down, is our median household income. So all that shouldn't be too surprising, given that there was a massive economic crash there. The question is what happened in the recovery, and that's the interesting part. Now, some people, of course, did recover. If you remember, the top 1% in 2010 got over 90% of the gains of the recovery. Did you recover? Apparently not. The real median household income since the quote-unquote recovery began in 2009 is not up. It's down 4.4%. How do you like that recovery? Well, it's okay because we got a progressive president who promised change and said he was going to look out for the rest of us, as well as all Americans, and obviously improve the economy, stop giving all the advantage to the top 1%, the bankers, et cetera. A lot of people voted for him, including single females. How did it work out for them? Well, it turns out single females with children, their median household income went down 7.5%. Down. How about the young? The young voted for President Obama. Under 25 years old, your income went down 9.6%. And then African Americans, they were the most loyal bloc to President Obama in both elections. Their median household income since 2009, during the so-called recovery, has gone down 10.9%. Now, of course, there is one group that has actually had the numbers go up. This does not include capital gains. Now, capital gains goes mainly to the rich. In fact, if you have money in the stock market, turns out 2013 was an awesome year for you. Your stock market gains for that year in aggregate was 25%. That's not down, that's up. So you see, if you're waiting on a hero, some progressive president's going to come by and change everything, or if you're a conservative, you think some ultra right-wing guy is going to actually look out for the middle class, good luck to you, brother. The right wing don't even bother to say they're looking out for the middle class anymore. They keep telling you about how they have to look out for the rich so that it'll trickle down all over your head. But then you have people like President Obama who did the big signs about hope and change and how he's going to look out for black folks, single ladies, and the young and all those people. And did he look out for them? No. Who did he wind up looking out for? The rich and the powerful. You got to get it through your head, man. Hope isn't some politician. Hope is us. We've got to change the system. If we don't change the system, you're going to get the same results over and over again. And every 4 years, you're going to get your hope up again because you're going to see a placard that says hope on it or change on it. You're going to see, oh yeah, this guy, this is the one. This is the one that's going to change things and actually look out for Americans. But Professor Lessig points this out brilliantly. He says, look, there's two sets of elections. You think you're voting? Yeah, you are. You get, well, in the end, you get to vote. Of course, they've got literally billions of dollars to swing your vote, to do all those advertisings, et cetera. But even before you get to that, there's a different election. There's the donor election. The donors get to decide, based on whoever has the most money in the primaries, who you get to vote on. And in the donor election, we don't vote. The richest people in the country vote. And that's the most important election because those are the one that gives you your choices. So you might not have known that Senator Obama was actually going to look out for the rich and powerful. You might have thought he was actually going to give you change. You might not have realized that African Americans were going to suffer even more under President Obama's recovery, right? I might not have realized that. A lot of people might not have realized that, but the donors knew it. The donors knew somehow that Senator Obama was going to be a good guy to them and that he was going to be fine, that giving him a lot of money was perfectly okay. You know, in 2008, when everybody talked about, oh, President Obama's small donors, he got all the money from the small donors, just the average Americans, that's why he's going to serve average Americans. That's not true. His top donors were the banks. And 70% of his money came from large donors. And look at that. he wound up serving the large donors. The real hope is us. You've got to change the system. Look, the way we think we can change that system is Wolfpack, wolf-pack.com. You go to the website, sign the petition. I mean, look, it takes about 10 seconds, but at least you're doing something. Become a member, become a volunteer, become part of the solution. Because if you let this system keep going, you're just going to keep electing Weasley politicians who are going to represent the guys that got them elected in the first place, and that's their donors. Are you going to get someone who's going to claim to be more progressive than President Obama? Who's going to claim to represent those people better? No. If you get someone promising you those things, well, it's the same thing as President Obama. He promised you, and then this is what he delivered. These are the numbers that he delivered. So you got to change the system so that the donors aren't having the first election. So they're not the ones whose voice matters the most. You've got to have free and fair elections. You've got to have a country where anybody, remember the Founding Fathers, like, oh, look, a farmer can run for president. Anybody can run for senator or congressman or any elected office. Do we have that today? You really think a construction guy can walk off the site, run for office and get elected? He's not going to get elected. The donors won't let him. He doesn't have enough money. We've got to get our democracy back, and sitting and waiting for people like President Obama to deliver you that change is a fool's errand. Look, it's impossible to know whether ultimately anyone will be successful and how they'll be successful in getting money out of politics. But we must do it. And if you're just sitting on the sidelines, well, you've given up and you've said, okay, well, we no longer have a democracy and I'm comfortable with that. I'll just let the Sheldon Adelsons and the Koch brothers, or if you're a right-winger, the George Soroses and the Michael Bloombergs of the world, control our fate. Okay, democracy, it was nice knowing you. If you want to saddle up and you want to fight back, go to Wolfpack, wolf-pack.com. And at least we've got a plan, and it's a hell of a good plan. And we're going to get that amendment, and we're going to get the money out of politics, and we're going to reclaim our democracy. It can be done, and we're going to do it.